Okay, so I'm a little bit in darkness here because the light's behind me and I've got lights on outside, so I sort of look like one of those movie posters where you got, is he good or evil? But anyway, konnichiwa. Couple of days late. This actually arrived on Thursday, but for one reason or another I was not really well enough, I suppose, being honest about it, to enjoy my new toys. So, new toys. So, let's get it open and show you what we have here. As we enter our final period of quite a lot coming this month. So into our final period of that, and yeah, I mean there will be stuff steadily. I've got stuff pretty much steadily now till just after July, but it's not nowhere near as heavy as recent. Got to be something somewhere. So this one's going to be a bit strange for some of you because basically some of you would have seen it before. But obviously, you just watched me open that one, so this is brand new. And we have a logo, and we have a rolling stock pack. Okay, so what we have here, I'm going to have to. Yeah, rather than using a knife, I could use a pair of scissors, couldn't I, to cut some of this? Much safer. Tell you what, folks, I'm getting quite frustrated. There's people posting on Instagram, because I use Instagram to keep up with some of the fantastic videos and photographs that you put out of your own layouts. Yes. And also to keep up with, train pictures and the videos and pictures from Japan of the trains there. But it's also where I get some of my anime news and things like that, and because of that it's showing me people who are uploading clips from various shows and films and that. There's an awful lot of very high quality video going up from the Demon Slayer movie. It's like, okay, does it come out then? I'll go and watch it. No, they're getting it from places unknown that are obviously not above board, and it's just like, oh, for goodness sake. Anyway, little aside over, but it's just like, oh my lord, yeah. So, dear. Right, what do we have? We have an EF15 electric loco. This is one of the box cabs. And we have one of these. This is the big. I've got an EF15 before. I don't know if it's the same 3062-3. I'm not sure if it's the same one. When I swap the camera around and we do the bit on the bench where you have a close look at everything, in between that I'll have a look to see if it's the same product number. This I do know is the same product number. It's the exact same one. 10-033. And Kato pre-releases. These are wonderful because you've got a train in a box. Train in a box, loco, you're away. How cool. So if I went to visit someone with an analog controlled N-scale layout, N-gauge layout, N-scale layout, track with 9mm width, I could take these, and I'm not carrying an awful lot to actually run a full train. How wonderful is that? I think these are amazing, and a cheaper way than the bigger boxes are sometimes. So yeah, and the really nice thing is on the back here it shows you suggestions of different locomotives you can use. So you've got my favourite steam engine of all time, the D51 there, the DE10, which I'd like to hope this might mean they're bringing one out again because I want one of these in this colour. C11 tank engine there, and the EF15 in question there, and you can even fit the caboose with lights. So I might have to do that at some point because it could be quite fun. jazz up the freight train a little bit. Now, we will look at all the cars in this, you know, up close so you can see them properly. Now, I do have one of these that's actually already on the track, and I'll have to take it off to run in the EF15. Because it suggested that if you combined 2 of these, you could make quite a stereotypical train, one of these to pull, so of the era. So I thought, well, let's do it. I've got one already, so I need to get another one. And hey, it's more freight cars and another caboose, and you know, this has got working taillights in it already, directional. So yeah, you know, let's do these things. Anyway, I'm going to stop wittering at you there. I'm now going to spin the camera around to get the light on. I end up with a bit of a halo. I would put it on, but it flashes, and first time I turn it on, it sort of comes on, then goes off. So it might not be too bad, but like that. And then, but I end up with a bit of a halo then, and it's a bit, yeah. So I thought it was better without it. But yeah, we'll get these. I'll get the EF15 out first, and we'll get you spun around. You don't have to look at my ugly mug anymore, and we can enjoy some trains. Okay, see you in a moment. So, this is actually a new release because the previous one is 3062-2 and this is 3062-3, so this is a new release of the EF15, and I've pulled, on that basis, I've pulled the other one out, so after we've looked at this one, we can side by side the two. I'll save that till after we looked at the freight car stock, so yeah, there'll be a bit of time, because obviously we'll look at the freight car stock. What I'll do then is we'll test this one on the track. I'll then run it in, and then when I come to fit the details and stuff, then once the numbers and everything are applied on this one, we'll look at the two side by side and see if we can notice any differences. But a brief history: the EF15 was the standard electric freight locomotive with 202 units mass produced between 1947 and 1958. They served on DC sections nationwide from Kuroshio on the Tohoku main line in the north to Shimonoseki on the Sanyo main line in the south until around 1987. This locomotive was widely used throughout the country as recommended for pulling various freight cars that stood in use at the time. So, you know, like the set, this is where they recommend. I'm reading off the Hobby Such website, by the way, in a minute. Among the standard EF15 models, numbers 46 through to number 129, were characterised by 7 side windows, a monitor roof, a PS14 pantograph. Now you're learning all sorts here now, and a plate and plate type numbers. This is a Toshiba manufactured vehicle from the Takasaki number 2 locomotive depot in around 1978 or Showa 53. And it just goes on to talk about the different variation, you know, the different features of the model, such as a cordless motor, warm white LEDs, and so on. But yes, we can replace the snowplow with, because this is set up for a cold area, you can replace the snowplow with one for a warm area, and I wonder if that's the difference between this one and the previous release, that this has got it. Anyway, so let's have a quick look. So yes, I thought I'd show it does come on a cradle. And it's rather nice, this, isn't it? Let's get the pantograph raised. Those PS14 pantographs. Just learnt. Yeah, I think that's... Unfortunately, you can't run it like this on my layout. And interestingly, as they are modelling it to... remove those out of the way, you see a bit better, can't we? Interesting, they're modelling it to 1970, actually puts it technically out of era on my layout. But yeah, so these are very fine. There's a cross there. Obviously got the slot for the number to go in. This will be the builder's plate. This will be the Toshiba builder's plate. There's the cab windows. and the side windows down the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Various details that are pre-fitted to it that I seem to remember having to fit previously. The grey bits here. Handrails are very, 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 very fine there at the front. Mr. Kato and his company have outdone themselves again. Here's the front. So did it say? No, it doesn't say. So you've got the driver's window this side. It would be second man's window that side. These, if I turn it this way as well, see this side. These shades over the top, I don't know what to call them, these bits here, are actually for icicles in tunnels. So if there's icicles in a tunnel, they'll break on here rather than smashing the window. So that's what the purpose of those is. I don't know if they're actually any good at. That's interesting. Got a bit of white speckling on this one. It doesn't seem to be coming off. But don't worry, don't worry. I'm sure it will. It's already been through the snow then, clearly. But yes, so I would wonder, and it says you can take the plough off here and make it a warm weather version. You'd probably have to take off these as well. But yeah, no, I think it looks superb. You know, it's a 1 Coco 1. You see, there's got a nice bit of detail there, various pipes and things, and the bogies themselves. Obviously, I'm not reviewing this, so I'm just looking at it and showing you around it. But yes, I think the next thing to do really is to now look at the freight cars, because there's not much more I can sort of say on this one. Give you a little bit of a history on it, and there's the other end. But I'm very happy, and the grape livery seems to have been applied very nicely. So it's a shame about these couple of spots. Maybe they're needed. Maybe they are part of the livery. In fact, those white spots are, because they're repeated on this side. There we go. See, there's a couple of bits of dust above them, or whatever this is. They've got there, but yeah, very nice. You see, they got the info down here as well. It's all very finely applied, isn't it? It's beautiful. Don't know how he does them so cheap. This one came in, just to keep you abreast of the situation, this one came in at roughly £35.53. You know, a lot of model for that. Big logo. Right, let's take it out of the way. Because, oh no, before we look at the freight cars, obviously we just look at what numbers it comes with and bits. Here's the accessory pack. So you can see we have got some gold whistles to put on. And you do get the obligatory knuckle couplings to put on it. If you know, not obligatory, you know, the standard knuckle couplings if you want to put them on. So you can see there's your selection numbers. So we've got 79 through 96, 97 and 111. So I'll have to choose one of those to fit mine out with. So it's in that range mentioned with the 7 side windows as we counted. So there's your number choices. And that is the entire of the EF15 looked at. So let's, as we pop that to one side, let's get the freight cars out. I won't stand on ceremony so much for this one because well, we've sort of seen them before in various videos and everything, but yeah, so we'll start at the top with the bogey box car. I should really know the names of these these different cars. It tells me anyway what we are. It would do on there, but I need the translator. So I wonder if it tells me on the website page. You see, I don't believe that's what that one is. 034. 504. What's the number on that one? 504. Yeah. So according to the machine translation, this is a armpit 5 type freight car. I don't believe that is the proper translation there. It might be. I mean, don't get me wrong, it might be. But this is obviously a bogey box car. This is running number 5044. I'll show you the other side. The ends, very similar to some of the American box cars. Yeah. Oh yes, here's where it says, by combining two of these sets, you can easily recreate the atmosphere of a freight train from the Japanese National Railway era with cabooses at front and rear. So, yeah. So, there we are. So, that's the armpit. But no, see, it's quite nicely detailed on the side with the numbers and so on. Yeah, not bad. Not bad models, these. They're very, very nice, I think. Next up, this is a Tourer. Uh, 45000 type open wagon, which you can take the cover off here. It just pulls off. If you wanted to put your own load into it or have it running empty, and then it just clips back on. Obviously, anything there is that the more you do it, the weaker the grip will get. But yes, and I like the fact that the tarpaulin shows the suggestion of a load in there. But again, very nicely, very nice rolling. Nicely to see a wood effect on there, and yeah, I think they're really quite beautiful, these little cars. Considering again, this set comes in at £28.87. I keep hearing model railways are expensive. Just depends what you want and what you're happy with, isn't it? I mean, if I wanted to model modern day UK N-gauge stuff, I'd be paying a fortune. But that's part of the deal, isn't it? It's part of what you accept when you go into it. It's not a criticism at all. But yeah, and this one here, 2580, is a Hoki 12,000 class. This is obviously some sort of grain car. You can see it's also I'd estimate this was carrying rice. I would have thought something like that. Load through the top, out through the bottom like that, or it could just be sanded grain, of course. But yeah, again, nicely detailed. It's quite a pleasant colour, and yeah, looks good. It looks nice, especially in this era. A lot of things are a bit more bland. That one and the next two are quite nice spots of colour. This is a Koki 7300. This is obviously a container car. And each container's got a different number there, I notice, as well. Again, excuse me, very, very nice, I think. I love the fact you got the J&R logo up here, which some of you may recognise as one of my sweatshirts. I think these are beautiful, you know, and I really love that green. I think again it's a nice spot colour, especially, you know, when put against the dark grape of the locomotive and some of the passenger cars. Now I think this is lovely. Get the end view. So you see, some of these could be fitted with tail lights, and some of my tonic ones indeed. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to knock the camera there. Final freight conveying vehicle is this one. This is a refrigerated car. This is a 12,000 class. As you can see, it's got bits on the roof there for presumably adding the ice in to help keep it cool. And obviously in Japan especially, the cars like this would be used for transporting fish, other meats and things like that, but probably largely employed in the transportation of fish. And again, very nice detail. These hinges really stand out to me on the door. And of course you got the applied lettering and that on there, which I think is rather nice. And it's really got a bit of this in as well. So you can see this gives you the class there on the end. But yeah, rather nice, and the ladder to get up to the top. Probably the most detailed look I've ever had any of my freight cars. Okay, you can see the walkways as well, can't you, either side? There we are. Yeah. And yeah, I think it is worthwhile sometimes looking at the stock a bit like this. And I know these videos are now getting a bit longer than they would have been. In the past, I might have just shown the locomotive a bit up close, run it in, and then we'd have done the cars would just appeared behind the train. But I think it is actually worth showing this, because a bit like the video I did last on the micro race announcements, it's information I'd have wanted when I was first starting, and actually to be able to see the models and see what you're going to be getting would have been quite useful in some cases ahead of time. So hopefully I'm providing a service in that regard to you all. So this is the caboose. It's a Yo 13,000 series. Yo 5000 series with a 13 a number 1313785 there. Yo 5000. There is a dummy coupler you can fit to one end included in this, which gives you a more scale coupling. This is non-functional though, has to be noted. Okay, so I don't tend to fit those because, like, you know, putting two sets together, I need to be able to couple a freight car that side and locomotive that side, say. This does feature working front and tail lights. Well, not front and tail lights. Working tail lights that change with direction. See here we've got the handbrake, external handbrake there. Yeah, I think these are lovely. The steps being picked out in white at one end as well. Yeah, you can see the class here at the end again, so Yo 5000. So also, yes, you could put freight inside these. Got something on the roof. There we are. That's better. But yes, superbly detailed. And again, if we just have a look, you know, I'm looking at the underside, it's running, but again, there is the stuff that's hanging down that you can see in theory when it's going along is there. And yes, and something I've found is you can never have too many cabooses, brake vans, whatever. If you're running the era when they ran, you can never have too many of them. Always worth it. And you'd always find yourself going, I need one to do this with. So it's worth having a few. All right, okay, so now it is actually over to the track to go and run in this. Obviously, from your point of view, what we're going to do is just going to see that it does run forward and backward first, then I'll run it in, and yeah, we'll come back after I fitted the details to it. I'd love to video that for you, but it would make this video ridiculously long. I might do a separate video one day on it just to say this is how you do it. And in fact I will do a separate video on this is how you do it. When I can get myself a bit more set up. And yeah. And that way hopefully you'll, hey, see that was a bit loose there, we'll put that down. And that's one of the other things, there's no screws on these. This is all sort of clip together fitting. So yeah, they are very, very easy to maintain and that. Very simple. Very, very wonderful though. But yes, so I'll show you how to fit the numbers, obviously, because that's something else that might be a bit of a help. But for now, we'll do that, and then we'll look at it with the other EF15, and then I have actually got a train already set up on the other track for a sort of in-era towards the end of steam running session, because the other engine is a steam engine. With this pulling the full in-era freight train, stereotypical freight train. Anyway, enough of me. Let's get over to the track. One wobbly camera, I'm afraid, just while I test it. Okay, need to go a bit further forwards. Come on. That's what ideally, I'd like it to drive itself off. Give it more power. There we go. So it clearly works coming forwards. Okay. Quickly gets rid of the railer. Otherwise it could have been dodgy, but yes. And then backwards. Helps you change direction. Yeah, very, very smooth, very nice. And now as it's running wrong road already, the wrong direction on this track, we'll start that direction of running in. Here's the running in speed. There we are. So, I'll leave that running in half an hour's direction, and I'll change it over, send it the other way. Yeah. Once that's done, I'll fit the details. We'll have a look at it compared to the other one, then we'll do the running session. Okay. The eagle-eyed of you will have noticed the F86 is actually now flying above the layout as opposed to resting in the trees. I want to get some glue and glaze to actually properly fix it to the post there. And then that can be a solid unit that can be taken out for transportation purposes. There we are, finally. Aha! Right. You can see the steam engine there lurking out of the way. Oh, there we go. Right. See you in an hour's time. Well, welcome back. Well, say welcome back. It's been a few hours actually for me since I left you to go and run it in, to go run the locomotive in. It's running successfully both directions, absolutely fine, and I've fitted the details as you can see, which we'll look at a bit more closely in a second. Just thought I'd bring it next to 3062-2, which is the warm weather one. We can see now much more clearly the differences. And I've noticed, yes, definitely one thing here is the fact that this one has the snowplow, that one does not. This has a plate number. This has a number that's basically attached to the bodywork entirely, you know, directly. When it said about the whistle, there's a cover on this one, and there is a replacement in the pack if you want to replace this with this style here. So obviously again just covers it over and everything, keeps it safe, and also deflects icicles from hitting it and breaking it. We do keep these icicle breakers. But apart from that, they are basically the same locomotive. Yeah, the only thing I have done on this one is the front end here, which I've been able to keep reference of the way the front is on this one. I have fitted the Kato supplied knuckle coupling, which, as you can see, does not stick out as far as the regular Arnold type here. And that's, I was going to say, don't fret about the coach from SL Yamaguchi being on the background. Nothing wrong with that. I was just making sure this lined up in the correct format. Other differences we can see though, and whether this is a difference between the two different eras of this or different types of this, or just whether this is updated detailing on the newer model, is you can see the areas where the pantograph that are painted black on this one and are silver on this one. I can imagine this is a later one with the, you know, you haven't got the more expensive big cast number plates like that. That they wouldn't bother painting maybe bits on there. This one represents an earlier one. So when it came to the number, as there's no other differences, I'll move this on that way. When it came to the number, I selected the lowest one available to me, which was 79. It really separates it as well out from one. Is it 187 on that one? Yes, it really separates it away from that one as well, and you know, brings it closer to the early production runs of the class. So as I said, I fitted this under the knuckle, and you can see just how, if we put that right up to that line there on the snowplow, try and get it, there we are, you can see how little it sticks out really comparatively. Also allows for quite a tight, now I'm going to have to move a couple of things here because I've got the transparencies for a flying boat that I'm building at the minute in the way, but we can bring in the car here and just made sure that's the only thing itself, to make sure that that's now the right orientation. In theory, it does mean we could have an EF15 pulling SR Yamaguchi now if we really wanted to. It'd be kind of fun. Yeah, like now when the steam loco D51200 has been returned to Kyoto Rail Museum behind a EF64, I think it was, that pulled it. So yes, that's the end of the season, and I think they're doing maintenance on the track and that. But anyway, if we're comparing the knuckles, let's get back to the point. To the Arnold coupling, you can see, bring it to the right one, you can see that there's a bit of a difference there in how far it sticks out. And in fact, we could actually really make this obvious, couldn't we? I just realised that. We do that, and then we do to the same line. Actually, a bit more difficult on this one because it hasn't got the thing, but there we are. You can see the difference there in how it looks and everything. I think it is a bit further back, isn't it? Bring it forward a bit. There we are. But yeah, either way you can see. Sorry about that. Bit of dead space there. I got distracted. Right. I'm talking about couplings with a couple of friends as well, but yes, so it's whether to standardise, because I'm in a position where I've now got a rake of Tomics passenger cars for this era, which could be used by locomotives that are only fitted with these, because the Tomics knuckle doesn't work with the Kato one. I think it does with modification, but I'm not sure. I have to re-watch Shigeman's video about that. But yeah, so I always try to keep this as it's the standard one. I think I mentioned in the previous video, but it suddenly occurred to me I could actually keep my Kato stuff within its own ecosystem, and use these, because I feel the appearance is so much better. But yeah, anyway, right, enough waffling. We're going to use that Arnold coupler because we're going to now couple to our freight cars, and I'll have the newer ones leading in the train, and the old ones at the rear. So let's get to it. There we are. I'm not sure this is the right way to set up the consist, but I know it's meant to have a caboose or brake pan at each end. Unfortunately, you can't turn off the lights on the brake pan, but yeah. Hopefully you enjoy. I will be quiet for the rest of the video now while I just do the running session. Thank goodness you all say. And so I should just take the opportunity to say, arigato gozaimasu, take care everyone, and sayonara. Remember, always to have fun.